Open source software has a business problem that won't go away. Especially in the last decade, multiple IT vendors have gained prominence, then declined, thanks to widely used open source projects that didn't translate into enough revenue for corporate sustainability. The source code for these projects is freely available to anyone, including powerful cloud service providers and other potential competitors, as well as billion-dollar customers who can use that code to generate their own commercial products without giving anything back. Simultaneously, many enterprise software products depend at their core on low level open source components that are maintained by one or two developers, or not at all, and without direct funding from most of their downstream users. Among the best known of these is a Java logging framework called Log4j, which was found to contain a vulnerability called Log4Shell in late 2021 that sent IT organizations scrambling to identify whether they were running affected versions and patch them effectively. In that case, maintainers were quickly able to make a fix available, but it's not always a given that the creators of free open source software will have the time or the willingness to do this important work without compensation. Meanwhile, many open source components similar to Log4j underpin enterprise software, and the question of how to fund their maintenance remains an open one, while the risk of another serious vulnerability persists. Both of these issues have been described as a tragedy of the commons for the tech industry, drawing on a concept articulated by a 19th century British economist to describe how individuals with access to a public resource act in their own interest and deplete that resource. As open source components form the core of modern cloud and commercial services, this tragedy of the commons threatens not just businesses, but the stability and security of critical public infrastructure. Something's got to give, but what will it be? And what will be the ultimate price of free software? I'm Beth Pariseau, Senior News Writer at TechTarget, and this is IT Ops Query, a new podcast that distills the signal from the noise about enterprise digital transformation and IT operations. In this first season, I'm talking to guests about the ongoing friction between open source software principles and sustainability. Join me March 28th for a series of weekly episodes featuring the IT experts, entrepreneurs, and community leaders involved in determining the path forward for enterprise open source. Available on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts.